Welcome to another Friday night in November here in the state of Georgia. We are really far west, almost in the state of Alabama, here in Bowdon, Georgia, as the Bowdon Red Devils host the Pinecrest Paladins, who've traveled quite some way down 400, halfway around 285, and all the way down 20 west. Thanks for joining us tonight alongside John Paul Hoover. I'm Ned Case. And John Paul, we were talking right before we got on the air. This game, it doesn't count for a lot as far as standings. If you're going to make the playoffs, if you aren't going to make the playoffs, right now Pinecrest is in a position to make the playoffs. But this game counts just to keep that momentum going. 83-0 their last two games.
Right, and it's kind of like the last real test before the playoffs. It's literally the last game before the playoffs. But also we played Whitfield and St. Francis. Like I said, 83-0. That's not really a true test. It's not going to test how your team is. Not a good measure for where you are on offense and defense and scheming. So I think it's a good chance to maybe experiment a little bit, see what's working, what's not. See if your team is actually as good as you have been the last two games.
And we have two teams coming in with matching records. Both teams 6-3, 2 losses in region, end up third in their side of the region. And Bowdon, this is a team a lot like Pinecrest, likes to run the football, have a lot of different options. Tay Shepard, Jamal Wyatt, Aaron Beasley, all do different things carrying the ball, and it's all led by quarterback Carson Palmer, who's led this, not Carson Palmer out there, Carson Palmer, and he's led this team to a 6-3 record. And this is a team that went to the second round of the AA class playoffs last year.
Yeah, it's pretty much another Pinecrest. You have both teams went sort of deep into the playoffs last year and around the exact same ranking in their respective sections of the region, and it's a good chance to see, kind of play yourself and see where it's more of a measuring stick than anything. That's how I look at it.
We're about 4.5 minutes away from this crossover game kicking off again. Pinecrest traveling west to take on Bowdon High School. We're here in South Georgia. We'll be back after this quick commercial break with our keys to the game.
This Pinecrest Academy football broadcast is brought to you by Billy Howe Ford, family owned and operated since 1977. Atlanta Rehabilitation and Performance Center, official provider for the Paladins. Team physician, Payne Sports Medicine and Orthopedic Surgery, and Children's Healthcare of Atlanta Foresight, dedicated to all better.
If you want a used vehicle, but you also want peace of mind, you want a Ford certified pre-owned vehicle. Because every Ford CPO vehicle is given a rigorous 172-point inspection by Ford factory-trained technicians. From the radiator to the transmission, to the engine, to the air conditioning, and every Ford CPO vehicle is backed by Ford with 7-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty coverage, plus 12-month, 12,000-mile limited warranty coverage. Ford certified pre-owned. A car that's inspected by Ford and backed by Ford. So what does that mean to you? Relax, it's covered.
First Friday in November, and we are here in Bowdon, Georgia, as the Pinecrest Paladins travel to take on Bowdon in this crossover game in Region 6. And John Paul, as the captain at midfield, let's take a look at our Billy Howe Ford keys to the game. And the first one we talked about at this travel, can this Pinecrest team get off the bus and be ready to play from that opening kickoff?
Right, it's not something that a lot of people think about. But if you've ever been a passenger in a car for a long time, you kind of get out and your legs feel like noodles. You're like, whoa, I couldn't run right now. I couldn't work out right now. And this is what this team is going to have to do. It's a almost 2-hour drive, not including traffic, and it's
not including traffic means something around here.
Yeah, certainly does mean something around here. And you got these players who've been sitting in the bus seats, not like they're that comfortable either. They're in an awkward kind of position. They're close together. So you get off the bus, you got to really adjust to walking again and getting that mobility going again.
And the second key for this Pinecrest team is the 3 Ps. They got to dominate the power play. They have to be ready for play action. And they got to be ready for pooch kicks, all kinds of crazy plays in the kicking game out of this Bowdon Red Devils team.
Oh, absolutely. And we start out with the power O and power D. We saw the last 2 games, especially, I thought, last game against St. Francis, Brooks Binkley, in that entire offense, I think especially Brooks Binkley, on those first few drives, you always see him just drive right down the field. And that's usually the sign of a good game that we're going to have. It's kind of set the tone with that powerful offense, that powerful offensive line, the run. And, of course, the defense all starts with the defensive line. Guys like Nolan Stafford, Stone Brown, and Wills Brown got to get in, got to penetrate those gaps, stop the run, fill, keep your assignment. Don't get overly aggressive.
Right.
But get in there. Really just get past the line and make it easier for the defense behind you.
And the third key for this offense is run your option to perfection, because this is about a team. They haven't seen a true triple option team all year, a coaching staff that's coached at some of the highest levels of Georgia high school football and in the college game, but just haven't seen this triple option look as much. So if Pinecrest can run it the way they want to, it's going to be tough for the Bowdon defense.
Right, absolutely. Commentating on the triple option is hard enough. I can't imagine having to prepare a defense within just 1 week to know how to defend a triple option. It's really, really hard to do. And the fact that the region teams that Pinecrest has played have already seen them in the past few years, this team has never seen. It's so different, and it's really going to be interesting to see how they adjust to this triple option offense.
And right before we kick this off, we'll take a quick look at our coach close-ups presented by Haynes Sports Medicine. Of course, for Pinecrest, we got Coach Todd Winter in his 5th year. And for this Bowdon Red Devils team, it's Coach Robert Andrews, 16 years coaching experience between the high school and college ranks. We mentioned it. He coached at Grayson 7A, won a state championship there. Defensive coordinator for that defense led by Robert Camdici. Been at North Gwinnett, again, that 7A level. So Coach Andrews can really coach his team, and it's his 2nd year finally starting to kind of get his system in place.
Right. I mean, talk about coaches moving from levels to level, maybe up a level or down a level, but you're still dealing with new kids. And no matter what level you're at, all those kids are still going to have the same instincts. They're going to have the same kind of personality traits. They're all teenagers, man. So you still, the way you work with them applies. Obviously, the talent is different, but if you can get his scheme going, it should be a good game.
As Carson Palmer tees this one up, it is that pooch kick that we were expecting. This one's going to go out of bounds and give Pinecrest great field position to open this game up. So
right, we talk about those pooch kicks. I mean, at the high school level, you don't need, well, a lot of times you don't have a kicker who can kick it out of the end zone, so you opt for pooch kicks. Obviously, Stuart Jeans can kick it out of the end zone, but a lot of times these pooch kicks are a good opportunity to kind of throw them off guard a little bit, possibly get the ball. You never know.
Coach Winter talked about it in the call this week. He said this is a team that kicked it deep a bunch the first couple of games. All of a sudden kind of mixed in this pooch kick, onside kick, so special teams certainly going to play a factor. But Pinecrest will start in great field position. Ball on the 35. McCarthy under center. He's got his weapons. Hollering. Barroz as the A-backs. And it's going to be Binkley in the backfield. And they give to Binkley, as we've seen a lot on the opening drives this year. But not a lot of room for him there. Binkley 69 yards last week. It seems like he should have more, but he just picks up those 3-4 yard chunks that are so important to getting ahead of the chains in this offense.
Right, and I can kind of compare this to fantasy football, believe it or not. You may have the running back that can get you all the yards in the world, but if you don't have one that can score touchdowns and make the important plays, you're not going to get any points. Same kind of thing here. Brooks Binkley doesn't get all the huge chunks of yards, not going to get a 40-yard run, but he's going to pound it into the end zone, get the first down. That's what's important.
2nd and 8, pitch out to Holler. He's got a lot of room. Barro's going to give him a block. Holler at the 40, a lot of green grass in front of him. 50, 40, 45, 30, running over a defender down to the 27-yard line. Big time play there for this offense as Holler got to the edge. Barroz just gave him the one block he needed, and that's going to set them up.
Yeah, that was really great. The hole was huge, and seeing the replay right here, Holler gets this pitch, and once Barroz gets that block, he has 20 yards of field in front of him.
And great blocking downfield by the receiver. It looked like it was Corey Downs on the near side. Or was it Binkley?
I think it was Binkley that time. Yeah, it's great. And he kind of ran a route at the end of it. He kind of curled off. He kind of confused the defender. Really great job.
So second play, very explosive here for this Paladins offense. It's Tyler motion again. They're going to change direction of the field. They give it to Binkley, bounces off tackle, and wrestled down around the 22-yard line.
Right, I said it before the game, and I'll say it again. I really think if the running back, particularly Brooks Binkley, can really make it through the defense on these first few drives, that's what sets the tone for the game. Because a lot of times we'll have the running game working very well in the first half and you open up the pass in the second half. And if you don't get it going here, that could be bad. You got to be able to run up the middle.
2nd and 6. McCarthy gives it to Binkley, bouncing off to the left side and dragged down close to first down yards. We'll see where they spot him. Looks like about a half yard short. Binkley following this left side of the offensive line so far on these last 2 carries. So 3rd and short here for this offense. The big play by Holler set him up down here in the red zone. Ball sits at the 17.5-yard line. Need to get to about the 16.5-yard line. Wills Brown to the near side. Binkley at the top screen.
I'm looking at Binkley. Maybe something's going to happen over there.
And we're going to give it to the fullback, and a lot of room there. He bounces off to the right side and gets the 3 yards he needs. First down.
Yeah, that's kind of one of the plays where you get the yards you need and nothing after that. You got 3 Bowdon defenders sitting on top of him after. But like I said, you get the important yards. That's what matters. That's how you win games.
So far, Binkley following his guards and bouncing it to the outside. Seen it to both sides so far, picking up those yards you need on 1st and 3rd downs. So again, 1 receiver split out to each side. For Roses and Holler, the A-backs, Binkley, the B-back. McCarthy under center. And they get the Bowdon defense to jump, but they reset before they cross neutral zone. Here we go. It's McCarthy, pitches out to Roses. Ton of room. Gets a block from the receiver. Downs in the end zone. He goes. Touchdown, Paladins. Less than 3 minutes into this game, they score first.
And you got power, 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 and then you give it to your speed guy, going to get it right around the outside, and then all he needs is one little block from Downs, and he's gone. I mean, he just so quick. And you can see the replay here, he's just that one block, and he gets to the sideline. Once you get to the sidelines, from our view, you can kind of tell how fast he's going. And because it's the angle you see, and he's just so quick. You're not going to stop that.
Stuart Jeans on for the extra point. Hold by Hunter Hawk. Stuart Jeans up and through. So 7-0 here for Pinecrest. Nice early lead as Baroses takes it in from about 14 yards out. And 2 plays to the outside there, a ton of room. We talked about this Bowdon defense, and you see all the players looks like meeting with their position coach. Assignment football against this triple option. Somebody forgot to get the edge guy.
Exactly, and then that's just the triple option works when people make their assignments, and it works even better when they miss their assignments. And you may be watching this, and you think, well, they're getting big yards on outside runs. Why don't they keep doing that? But that's half the equation. Binkley going up the middle is what sets that up. You have to have that run up the middle. You got to be able to get at least a few positive yards. One, especially when you got a short yardage situation, you don't want to have to go outside. You want to be able to go inside, and Binkley's clearly proven to be able to do that throughout the course of this season. And in this game, he's setting up that outside run, really getting some big gains on that. That's really, it's good to expand the playbook.
Right, and again, seems like 2nd or 3rd game in a row where Pinecrest has gone down, scored in their opening possession without passing the ball,
right,
which just sets up the pass so much later in the game. Quick pooch here by Jeans. Ball is going to be fielded at the 29-yard line and returned up around the 37. That return was by number 44 for the Red Devils, Noah Langley. Again, we've seen 2 pooch kicks. Pinecrest doing a nice job keeping theirs in bounds, but start right about the same field position. So you give up that field position,
right,
but at the same time, we did see 2 Red Devils right there. Looked like both were going to field the ball. Miscommunication there. We saw it in the World Series.
That's
Communicating
true.
can be the key.
That's true. Oh, man, that World Series.
How about that? Yeah.
Was wild. My goodness. I went to bed in the 7th inning. I was like, yeah, Cubs got this. And then we upset 8-7.
Boy, did you miss a lot of
Yeah,
3 innings.
really.
So the offense comes out on the field led by the senior Carson Palmer. Again, that's Palmer, not Palmer. This red's going to make it look like the Arizona Cardinal quarterback out there. So Palmer in the backfield with his two backs, Wyatt and Shepard. And it's going to go to Wyatt, bouncing around to the left side. Holler's going to try to chase him down, does, and throws him for a loss of 1. Man, Holler got to that football fast.
Yeah, Wyatt's quick. You can see him, if he'd kind of gotten that edge, he could have been dangerous. But here's where high school football is different from high school basketball. High school basketball, you have one guy who may be 6'5" or 6'6", and he's fast, and he can dunk, and he can do whatever he wants, and he can score 42 points in the game. High school football is not like that. You have 11 guys on the defense who are spread out evenly across the field in order to stop that. It's a lot harder for one athlete to take over an entire game.
So shotgun again, two backs. This time it's going to go to Shepard. He's got a room. He's up the middle and dragged down by Corey Downs. Excuse me, that was Wyatt again.
Yeah, this kind of.
I'll tell you what, when he gets that hole, that athlete, he shows his speed, and Wyatt took off there.
He certainly did, and that's more. I think that's part of the defensive line. You gotta get in those gaps, but at the same time, that's when it. As you see in the replay right here, that's linebackers got to be able to get on that intermediate second level. You can't let him get to the safeties and corners shouldn't be making tackles on this guy when he's running up the middle.
So we see a shotgun here out of Bowdon, but a tight formation, only one receiver spread out. So power football out of the shotgun. This one goes to Beasley. Beasley about 4 yards there, holding on by the ankles, and the rest of the Paladins catch up. A ball comes loose. Paladins jumping around like they have it, but everybody the whistle said the runner was down there. So that was Beasley, the sophomore, 6'1", 195.
It's this kind of opponent like Bowdon, compare it to a bowl game for a college team, a team that they're not going to play hardly ever, and
first ever meeting between the two schools.
Right, it's usually far away from. It's a good chance, like I said, to see where your team's at against a team that you haven't played. That's how you test something. You do it against something it's never seen before. So it's good for Pinecrest.
Palmer in the gun. He's going to pass for the first time down the middle on that play action fake. He's got Gibbs, and he hung that ball up in the air too long. That's a nice play by Daniel Duke to get underneath it. But there's that play action fake we talked about. He had Gibbs.
He was going right down the seam. And like you said, he kind of hung it up there too long. If he lasered that a little bit more, he was open. He was open for a few seconds. And that's all you need when you're a quarterback. And yeah, that could have been bad.
Nice hustle by Duke, though, to get there and make a play. He's a little slow getting up, walking back to the line now. So it brings up third down here for Bowdon. First third down of this drive. That was their first pass. It was the first pass we've seen of the game here. 6:57 on the clock. Pinecrest just went down and scored in their opening possession. Red Devils looking to counter. Coming in motion, it's Wyatt. It goes to Wyatt, following a lead block, and nice defense there by the Paladins. Again, it's Carson Holler on first contact.
And that's what you want to see. You want to see a defensive lineman, a linebacker, and a safety all combined to make a tackle. That's that swarm tackling that Coach Winter talks about, when players talk about. It's really the key that when you have explosive players that can break a lot of tackles, you get 2 or 3 guys on them at one time, and that's going to make it's almost a guaranteed tackle. And if you can get that kind of tackle every time, it's perfect.
And it says second game in a row, we've seen that nice form tackle, wrapping the legs,
right.
Get that drive. Holler did a nice job finishing that tackle. So here we go, 4th and 2. First real big play of the game. Shotgun for the Red Devils. Palmer's in the backfield with Beasley and Wyatt. This is going to go to Beasley. He's going to have a first down and a little more. Down near the 20-yard line, marked at the 22-yard line. Big 4th down conversion there by the Red Devils. Power football, as we'll see it here in the replay.
Yeah, you can see this offensive line is getting a real nice push and a big hole right there.
And you see those pulling guards, and you mentioned it, having to cut those blocks and spill that run, get it to the outside. You got to get up underneath those pulling linemen.
Right, and it's one thing to have, if you're going like a pro set or I formation, it's one thing to have a fullback. It's another to have a guard running at you. It's a lot harder to stop. and that's just good offense.
Tight formation, Palmer in the gun. This one goes to Beasley again, looking for a little room. Dancing, bounces to the outside, drag down. Addison Ale gets him at the 10.
Beasley looking like a very patient runner, and that's what you want to see from a running back in particular who needs to be able to look at the holes and be able to make decisions quickly. But he's able to look at the blocks and it's kind of. Do you remember when the St. Francis game and they had the running back? He kind of put his hands in alignment. That's what, to me, a real good sign of a patient running back who's just kind of looking around, see the scope of the field before making any quick decisions, and that's what he's doing right here. And that's what he's been really effective so far on this drive.
And so far, when he's seen a hole, he's hit it fast.
Absolutely.
So Beasley's got this offense cooking down inside the red zone. First down, it goes right back to Beasley. He's bouncing around, tackled at the 5-yard line. Gain of 6 there on 1st and 10. So Garrison Winter checks in for a little more bulk up front.
And we talk about that bend but don't break defense. That's what we saw earlier in the season, I think more so than we've seen recently. But when you get in the red zone, opposing offense gets in the red zone, the best way to make a statement is to stop them cold. If you can, don't even let him get a field goal. That's what you want. You got to stop him.
Ball just inside the 5. This one goes to Wyatt, and he's going to get tackled after a gain of just about 1. He'll be short of the first down marker. So here you go. Here's this 3rd down. Certainly, if you're Bowdon, you think about 2-down territory. We see it in single A. Not a lot of teams have a bunch of confidence in their kicker, or they have a lot of confidence in their offense. So here we go. Coach Andrews going to send the play in with Palmer.
We've seen him go for it on 4th down already. So it's even closer to the goal line now is even more of an incentive.
So 3rd and 2 here. Ball on the 3. This Paladin defense looking to come up big here in the red zone. We've seen it a lot this year. See if we can get it one more time. Palmer gives it to Wyatt. Wyatt has a little room. He's got the first down, but does not have the touchdown. So gets just enough there. Another big power run there for this Bowdon offense. See it here on the replay.
Yeah, again, their offensive line is handling their business, and I think Beasley and they're handling the running backs are taking what the offensive line is giving them. They're not trying to make something out of nothing, and they're not being stopped yet.
3rd and goal, ball right down on the 1-yard line. Excuse me, 1st and goal, ball right down on the 1-yard line. 3:21 and counting remaining here in the first quarter. It's Bowdon's first possession of the game. Methodically moved this ball down the field. Only seen 1 pass out of this Red Devil offense so far on this drive. And Palmer's going to keep it jumping over the top and in for a touchdown. The Red Devils respond with a touchdown of their own.
Yeah, and again, that's when it's 1st down on the half-yard line, it's going to be hard to stop. But again, that offensive line is getting such a good push, and you see in the replay here, it's just a really nice play. It's not just getting a good push, but they're all doing their assignments. They're kind of they're moving around a lot. They're not going to completely aggressive, but kind of confusing the defense a little bit maybe. But they're pulling guards, that kind of stuff, seeming to work for them so far. And again, this team is no joke. It's not like it's the 2nd round of playoffs. They beat.
Go for 2 here, and a muddle huddle. Wow. They throw it out to the lineman, and there's the lead for Bowdon, 8-7. So they spread out Pinecrest on that extra point and steal an extra point for themselves.
Yeah, that's one of those wacky formations that you see in college football a lot. They usually adjust. They go back to the field goal position before executing it, but you see in the replay here, that's a bit hard to defend. You don't see that a lot. I don't think we've seen that all season.
No,
that's
just a little muddle huddle to each side, and you see that the quarterback, Palmer, who's the kicker, and the center, they look to see what the numbers are, see if they like it, and I expect we'll see the start like that every extra point, but likely they'll bring it in for a lot of the game, but we'll see. But
yeah, we'll see.
This is a good start for this Bowdon team. Last week, beat a winless North Cobb Christian team 20-8 with a score 0-0 at halftime. So it's for them to get on the board early, you know, against a winless team, the emotions aren't always there as much as a game like this. But for them to get on that board early, I'm sure that's exactly what exactly what Coach Andrews was looking for.
Right, exactly. And you mentioned a 0-0 score at halftime last week for Bowdon. And you look at the Falcons game last night. Was it 13-7 at halftime, something like that, and they end up winning it by 20 odd points. So again, it's the second half, but really the whole game, obviously you score points, but that second half, when you make adjustments in the locker room, is so crucial to the outcome of the game.
Parmer looking like he's going to pooch it. Kicks this one kind of deep for a pooch. Baroses fields it at about the 21-yard line and ducks out of bounds for a short 5-yard return at the 26. So that's where this Paladin offense will start this drive. Drove down the field with relative ease, I'd say, on their last drive. Doing a nice job mixing runs in between the tackle and getting out to the edge. See if they can do it. Last drive started on the 35. This one on the 28. And Hunter Hawk is going to spell Brooks Binkley for this drive. We see those two pretty interchangeable in the B-back spot.
Yeah, Hunter Hawk, again, you cannot overstate his impact on this team.
And it's going to be McCarthy out to Baroses again. A nice edge for this offense. Baroses down the sideline. It's going to be knocked out. Cuts back. And Baroses is trying to see if he could get past the last defender there. Nice job by Dylan Raymond, forcing him finally out of bounds. But again, the edge wide open for this Paladin offense. Nice job, 1-for-1. Good block there on the edge by Downs, just really shielding his cornerback away from the runner.
Oh yeah, and as you saw in the replay right there, it's not just a little bit of room on the edge. It's a wide open hole. I mean, it's impressive to see that the kind of setup that they can do with that inside run game, then spread out. Obviously, they didn't even do an inside run before doing that, but we'll see.
So timeout there by Coach Andrews. Clearly, he is not happy with this Red Devil defense so far, giving up all these runs on the perimeter. As a certified financial planner, Pinecrest Academy family member Bill Kiernan brings a professional certification that provides peace of mind that you will receive sound advice for your financial planning needs. Bill provides safe money strategies, whether you're looking to participate in market gains or avoid costly money management fees to grow your wealth. Bill can provide support and guidance. Follow the lead of many of your friends at Pinecrest and call Bill at 678-776-4592 to learn what he can do for you. You can rest assured that following safe money strategies with Bill can provide the asset growth that you desire. So John Paul, 2:31 remaining here. Pinecrest, one play, big chunky yards, back into Red Devil territory. These Red Devils call timeout. Cheat to the edge a little bit, or do you think that they'll just reminder of playing assignment football?
I would expect us to do a reminder at this point. I think if it gets extreme kind of results, at halftime we might make some extreme adjustments. But right now I just think, hey, look, you get to the outside if you see he's going outside.
And they're going to go to the outside again, and the Red Devil defense was ready for that. McCarthy does a nice job still making that play positive. Haven't seen McCarthy really carry the ball first time. Guess you would say that was his first carry there on a little bit of a broken play. But last week had a big-time night carrying the ball. 16 carries, 144 yards, 3 touchdowns. So it's just the amount of weapons. And it seems like every week it's a different leading rusher for this Paladins offense.
It really does. And you can kind of, not through every week, but you can also see it through the scope of the season. And I'll let this play go. 2nd and 8.
McCarthy keeps it, pitches it out to Baroses late. Nice job there by the Red Devil defense of getting to the edge, but still pick up of about 3.
And I was saying in the beginning of the season, Brooks Binkley gets injured. You see Hunter Hawk come in, makes a big impact. Binkley comes back, makes a big impact. Then you got Baroses going outside and all sorts of stuff. And it's kind of it's game to game, and also throughout the course of the season, it kind of makes a kind of fluid rhythm of the running backs kind of helping each other out. And when you're an opponent and you're watching that's why it's important. When you're an opponent and you're watching the film and you're watching Baroses run around the edge for 100+ yards in a game, you're going to prepare for that, but then you got Brooks Binkley going to run right the middle. That's the beauty of it.
And a false start there on the play as Patrick Sullivan just got a little over anxious. I think forgot the snap count. So that'll bring up a 3rd and long here. So after that first long play, this drive stalled a little bit, 2 short plays. Now a penalty brings up 3rd and 11. So, you know, we could see your favorite play here, a pass.
There we go. Hey, maybe. We got 53 seconds left. Want to set the tone for the rest of the half.
Tight formation. Binkley, the only true receiver here. He's going to line up as a tight end. We've seen play action out of this loaded set quite a bit. And we're going to see it again. Binkley on a quick out. And sack. Did he throw it? It's going to be intentional grounding.
Yeah.
You know, loss of down.
Yeah.
It's pretty much the same result there, but nice job there by that Red Devil defense of being prepared. Looked like they tried to get Patrick Sullivan on a basically roll out to the right. He was going to sneak out to the left. Good discipline by this defense.
Yeah, we've seen that same exact play. I remember against Fellowship, where Carson Holler ended up running around the other way, and it's a popular play to do at all levels of football, really. I mean, saw Jacob Tammy and the Falcons do it a few weeks ago. It's a popular play to do. You kind of sneak the tight end out on the other side, but hey, the defense was ready for it. Give credit where credit is due. That was a good play.
So this second drive stalls after that first long play by Baroses. Took the ball nearly 50 yards. Did at least a nice job flipping the field. Here's McCarthy's back to punt. Carson Palmer standing on his own 10. Nice high punt by McCarthy. It's going to be fair, caught at the 12-yard line. And 34 seconds remaining here in the first quarter. This Red Devil offense will get their second attempt at the ball.
I'll tell you one thing, that Lamar Plunkett Fieldhouse and the Bowdon end zone, that's going to be Stuart Jean's goal this night. On an extra point or a field goal if he wants to, clear that Fieldhouse. If he can do that would be pretty impressive, I think.
Yeah, no doubt. Well, and the cameraman on the building might want to watch out there. If, that's Stuart Jean's target. That's like the guy, mowing the golf balls up at the driving range.
Yeah, and again, you see Lamar Plunkett Fieldhouse.
There's our cameraman.
Yeah,
not our cameraman, but a brave cameraman.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Yeah, you got to. Yeah, that'd be good goal for Sushi.
Tight formation again for Palmer, and that one goes to Shepard. Not a lot of room there. Trey Shepard on his first carry of the game. Shepard a couple weeks ago against Gordon Lee, big game, 16 carries, 146 yards. Last week, 151 yards for Beasley, so a lot of different options out of this backfield for Red Devils.
Right, that kind of community running game that we see from Pinecrest and Bowdon, really a big factor in this game to see who they're going to use and who they're going to stop.
And Bowdon's going to let the clock run out here on the first quarter. So as the first quarter comes to an end, the score, Bowdon 8, Pinecrest 7. Pinecrest Academy is a private pre-K through 12 college preparatory Catholic school. We provide an atmosphere of academic rigor and critical thinking while offering personalized attention in a Christ-centered environment of faith and reason.
I got a high ankle sprain going for a rebound.
Injuries are part of playing.
I got hit catching a pass and broke my collarbone.
So it's good to know that the sports medicine doctors, therapists, and athletic trainers at Children's Healthcare of Atlanta are experts at treating young athletes. If your child suffers any kind of sports-related injury,
I got hit and dislocated my shoulder.
bring him to Children's Healthcare of Atlanta.
Welcome back to Pinecrest Academy football presented by SUV TV. Tonight we're pretty far west over here in Bowdon, Georgia. 20 west took us most of the way here. And a quarter that saw each team score a touchdown. Bowdon took advantage, went for two, so they have the 8-7 lead here entering the second stanza. A different quarterback here. It's going to be Dylan Raymond in instead of
Interesting.
Parmer for the Red Devils. It's going to be a handoff to Shepard, dancing around and dragged down after about a 5-yard gain.
In a different quarterback situation, that's something that the Paladins haven't seen since, I believe it was Mount Perrin, where they used
a couple,
3 or 4 different quarterbacks. So, interesting look, but Paladins have seen it before. They know how to defend that kind of community quarterback. Like it's all about assignments. Again, it shouldn't matter who's playing quarterback, who's playing running back. As long as you do your job on defense, get the job done.
And Parmer standing on the sideline, doesn't have his helmet on. Can't see if it's in his hand, but may just be a little different here. So Dylan Raymond, free safety, wide receiver, now playing quarterback. He's gonna fumble the handoff, and he looked like he rolled back on it, but the Paladins might have wrestled the ball away. And they're gonna say it's Red Devil football. So that'll bring up 4th down. And Parmer's gonna come on here and punt, so certainly wasn't an injury issue. Coach Andrews just mixing up his quarterback play a little bit.
That was a good thing to do. I guess in this crossover game, it's a time to do it.
Yep.
See who's ready to play what kind of team and what kind of defense. And it's really a good prep for the playoffs. See where your team's at.
So Parmer handles the snap. Paladins came after it, takes a nice Red Devil bounce and keeps rolling. That's gonna be about a 55-yard punt right there out of Parmer with that bounce. And you saw the Paladins come after that punt. Coach Winter said that that's something they want to do. They want to get after the punts. They want to block one tonight. They think that's going to make a big difference. And a game that's going to be really back and forth.
Right, we usually talk about the special teams making special plays. And especially at this level, it tends to happen a decent amount. And it's really important to get momentum on your side. And it's easy with that kind of play versus having to have a whole drive on defense or offense. It's one play in special teams to get the momentum on your side.
Holler comes in motion. They're going to switch side of the field. It's going to be a handoff to Binkley. He's going to pick up 4 yards on 1st down. And you see it a lot. The A-back comes in motion, gets to that fullback, and reverses his field. They're trying to get this Red Devil defense bouncing back and forth, guessing a little bit on their heels. Again, this is the first time they've seen this triple option offense this season.
Right. I think when you're Coach Winter and you know that, I think it'd be kind of fun just to kind of play with them a little bit. You know you got the outside run established, and you barely pass it. I think it's one pass attempt, so you got still a wide open playbook.
Roses comes in motion. It's a pitch out to him. They're trying to get to the edge. Holler gets a little bit of a block. Late flag comes in as that play went for 1 yard, but we'll see what this flag is in the general area of holding. And it is going to be a hold. So that'll likely bring up a 2nd and 16, although we'll see where the hold took place.
Yeah, if you're watching.
Oh, you can see on the replay there, it looks like number 44, Langley, drew the hold.
And if you're watching the game last night with the Falcons, you heard Al Michaels, and he said 96.4% of the time, if a flag is behind the offensive line of scrimmage, it's going to be a holding penalty. So it's one of those things where, you know, you like to hope
that it's not.
Right, yeah, you like to hope that it's not, but it's usually going to be holding.
2nd and 20 here. Holler comes in motion. Speed option look. McCarthy couldn't find much room back to the line of scrimmage. That's the first time we've seen the speed option tonight.
Yeah, again, something that Pinecrest implemented versus Fellowships. That speed option clearly worked in that game, and they're carrying it on.
Fellowship taking on Region A winner Mount Zion tonight for the Region Championship. Both teams undefeated at 9-0 and undefeated in the region. This Bowdon team, a very competitive team, lost by a touchdown to Mount Zion, ranked 8th in Class A public by a couple polls. So certainly a good test for this Paladins offense to find out where they are heading into the postseason. And it's going to be a pass here for McCarthy. He's got more time down the middle of the field. And good defensive play there by Aaron Beasley. He had a chance at interception. But nice coverage there by the Red Devils. They were expecting pass as they should have been.
Right. And a questionable throw. I think that was probably a scripted play. He was supposed to throw it down. It might have been open, but you know, they've seen the replay right here. I think the offensive line really
Nice job,
held
yeah.
their own. Yeah, he had a lot of time in the pocket, and it was kind of like QB contained by the defense, so it might have been hard for him to get outside and try to extend the play, but good defense, and hey, offensive line held their own.
So McCarthy back to punt. Palmer standing on his own 45. Another nice high punt. It's going to be fair. Caught and dropped. Bouncing around. Palmer jumps back on it, but it rolls away. I think he pulled it back in.
Ooh.
And they're going to point right away in Bowdon's direction. So, man, that football sure is funny shaped. Never know how it's going to bounce or roll around once it get on the ground there. Palmer, fair caught that one, but just couldn't quite feel. Looked like at the end it went a little further than he thought. You see him here on the replay get a little spun around as the ball goes a little further, and just look at the ball. I got it. Oh, I don't got it. Oh, no. Oh, wait, I do got it.
And that's the number one rule coaches will say when you're trying to recover a fumble. You never dive on it. You never just flop right on top of it because it's just going to bounce right out. You're supposed to get – I wish the viewers could see me right here, but you just kind of slide
you
down.
Can do it. You can do it. I'll watch you slide down.
Oh, yeah, no, you're pretty good at describing. You know how it's going to work. But, yeah, you just hold it with your arms, not your body.
Wyatt comes in motion on a jet sweep. He gets it and is forced out of bounds. Looked like Carson Holler knocked him out of bounds. Good job there by Addison Ale, eating up the block, not giving him a lot of room.
Yeah, that a defensive coordinator's dream is when his player can take on a block and then still affect the tackle at least. And that's what we saw right there from Carson Holler. Really doing a nice job of taking on the block and forcing the man out of bounds.
So after quick starts for both these teams, touchdowns on opening possessions, we've seen 3 consecutive punts, 2 out of Pinecrest, 1 out of Bowdon. 2nd and 7 for Bowdon here. We see him split 2 receivers out. Wyatt to the near side. He just came in motion on the last play. He's going to do it again, looking for the jet sweep. It's going to be Palmer keeping it this time. Has a little room up the middle, but once again, Carson Holler playing close to that line of scrimmage. Makes a nice tackle there, bringing up 3rd and 4.
Man, it looked like Palmer was trying to put a little spin move on Carson Holler, and he was having none of that. That was a vicious tackle. He kind of wrapped him up, and then kind of repelled him with his legs, and it right into the ground. That's you can't disrespect Carson Holler. Trying to put a spin. Are you serious? Spin move? I mean, no, that's not going to happen. Spin move. Come on, man. That's look. You're not like Eddie. Do you remember Eddie Lacy at Alabama? His signature move was that spin move.
Yep.
I mean, come on, Palmer. You're a quarterback, man. Did I
just hear you say Carson Holler would tackle Eddie Lacy?
No.
So here we go, 3rd down, pass, and intended for Gibbs, but behind him, incomplete. That'll bring up a 4th down in a likely punting situation, and they will. So 7:26 here. Nice job by this defense forcing a 3 and out.
You know, I said it's hard for an athlete to take over a game, but if Eddie Lacy was on this field, trust me, that goes out the window. That's a very different situation.
But back to your point about Holler, he does a nice job wrapping up on all his tackles. I mean, we see it where, he does a nice job grabbing the legs and picking the runner up. And a lot of safeties, you see them, they just want to go for that big hit, lead with the shoulder. Holler does a nice job wrapping up, and that ball bounces near Holler, but doesn't get all the way to where he was planted. So a short punt with a decent bounce.
And Holler does a real nice job of tackling. I thought last game against St. Francis, especially in the second half, the whole team really did a nice job. Guys like Daniel Duke, I saw Hunter Hall get a go, and Addie Hale making an impact and making some real nice textbook tackles. You don't need the big hit. You just kind of sweep them off the ground, and that's a guaranteed tackle at that point.
37-yard punt there out of Palmer. So this drive will start at the 31. Best field position they've had to start a drive since their opening drive when the Red Devils kicked it out of bounds. So see if they can drive it 69 yards here and get their way in the end zone. 7:16 on the clock, trailing by 1, 8-7. Roses comes in motion, but they're going to give it to Hawk, and he's going to run into a pile of red jerseys in the middle for a very minimal gain. So this defensive line is doing a nice job. We see Langley in there, number 57, Drew Duffy in there, a big group up front for this Red Devils defense.
Right, and they're really holding their own so far, haven't really allowed Brooks Binkley get to really make an impact on the inside running game, but certainly Pinecrest is getting that outside wide open every time. So if they can adjust to defend that, we'll see.
It's going to be McCarthy. Quick pitch out to Holler. Barozas gives him a nice block. Holler at the 40, 45 up the sideline. Knocked out of bounds near the 50-yard line. Once again, that edge being very friendly to this Paladin running offense.
Right, a great run by Carson Holler right there. When he's running, and you see in the replay right here, it kind of looks like he's gliding.
Gazelle-like
exactly. Yeah, he gets gazelle-like, and it looks like he's ready to make a cut at any point, and then that's what you're looking for in a patient runner, an experienced, certainly a senior, and it's really the amount of weapons on this team. I mean, we've mentioned it before. It's really good. It really helps the playbook.
5-2 front here for this Red Devil defense. Got their outside backers tied at the line. Hunter Hawk makes the first man miss. Gain of about 7 there on first down. It's the most explosive play I think we've seen from that B-back to that fullback position yet today.
Yeah, really. I mean, so we've seen in past games where in the second half, like to air it out a little bit more. Maybe the second half, we'll run it up the middle and we'll start having success. You never know. I mean, they'll have to adjust to the outside runs, and maybe that leaves the middle open. We'll see, but it's all about those adjustments.
Tight formation. Binkley split out to the near side. Jack Binkley. It's going to be McCarthy on the keeper, and he got hit right at the line of scrimmage, fought forward close to the first down. Going to be about a half yard short, and I don't think there's even a doubt Coach Winter's going to go for this one.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, well, that's because it's third down. Forgot Hawk's big run there on first down. So, well, I think I was still right. Coach Winter, without a doubt, is going to go for this one on 3rd and 1 here.
Hey, you know, Ned, I think the team that scores the most points in this game is going to win. So, you know, it's that kind of thing, man. That's how it goes.
Oh, John Paul. Long drive over here got me a little out of it. So here we go, 3rd and 1. Hawk keeps it first down and a little more, but not a whole lot more. Gain of about 5 right near the 40-yard line. Late flag comes in, and I think a Bowdon defender threw Hunter Hawk down late. Hawk a little slow getting up, but seems to be fine.
Yeah, but if a player were, we see Hunter Hawk looks clearly fine, but if a player were to get injured on some extracurricular activity, that's when it crosses the line, and that's where you really get some bad blood between the teams. We see right there.
Oh yeah,
it's picked up.
Yeah, you see it, and the whistle clearly blown to stop forward progress. So looked like that was number 38 for the Red Devils, or excuse me, 36, Jeremiah Adams.
Yeah, we're way to take one for the team, Hunter Hawk.
Right, yeah.
That should be add on to like some rushing yards or something. That's a courageous move.
That's what I always think when I'm watching Sunday football for my fantasy football team.
Oh,
pass interference, give my receiver some points.
Yeah, really.
So here we go. Quick pitch out to Holler. Barozas sets a nice block on the edge, but not a lot of room. Good job by that Red Devil defense of chasing the football.
And you see Barozas setting the block on the edge right there, and you might wonder, well, he's not really holding it or anything. Again, when you're outside and you're dealing with skill positions, all you need is about a half a second.
Yep.
Just tap him, get him off his path, and he's going to be out of the play. That's how it works on the outside or deep into the secondary. That's all you need.
We approach 4 minutes here in the second quarter. Just inside the red zone for this Paladin offense on 2nd down. Ale comes in motion. They reverse the field. It's going to be a handoff. And about 2 yards there for Hunter Hawk. Brings up 3rd and 5.
And we talked about before the game how Coach Andrews coming from Grayson to here. And we talk about how the personalities, and they're both teenagers, but the talent difference. I mean, imagine having Robert Kimdichi, an NFL player now, and now to going to a single-A school.
And he's got a couple guys who are listed as like 5'2" on his roster.
It's such a big difference. I think that really shows the skill of a coach, that he's got to be able to win anywhere. And I think that's something that Coach Winter with his triple option offense would be able to do.
3rd down, Ale comes in motion, handoff to Barozas, trying to get to the edge. Can he beat him? Pushed out of bounds. That was Shepard chasing down Barozas, And I think Baroses he did get it. He's down to the 20-yard line. So Baroses uses his speed. Oh, no.
I don't know.
Oh, okay. Excuse me. I was looking at the man, that drive is really affecting me. Sorry to everyone at home right now.
Oh, man.
So instead of 6 yards, which you needed, he got about 1. And you see Wyatt there. Nice job chasing him down.
Right, yeah, that's speed on speed.
Mhm.
That's
right.
That's that's what football has turned into. Really a game of speed. And obviously the linemen are really still important, making the holes, but speed kills. You got to have fast guys who play fast. And that's what Pinecrest has, a lot of those. And that's really good. And helping with the offense.
38-yard field goal attempt is blocked. Hunter Hawk picks it up for the moment, and he tried to run but had nowhere to go. And Stuart Jeans on for his first field goal attempt in a couple games. It was blocked. Man, big-time play there for that Bowdon defense as they stop him inside the red zone and hold him to 0 points. And we'll see it here on the replay. It looked like just off the edge, the Red Devils were just quick in getting there.
Yeah,
and
wow.
Basically untouched off the edge.
He's good.
Looked like that was Carson Palmer, the quarterback, safety, kick returner, punter, water boy.
He does it all, man. He's
assistant coach, mascot,
team manager. Also, yeah, you see he gets around the edge. It's a kicker's fault when a guy goes up high, blocks it. But that's just speed around the edge. You can't do anything about that. It's a great play by Palmer.
So Raymond back in at quarterback, Palmer in at running back. They hand off to Palmer to the right side. Dances for about 4 yards there. Patiently waiting behind his offensive line. It seems like all these Red Devils runners do a nice job of that.
Yeah, it's really some experience, and I think that comes down to coaching. Obviously, Andrews has 16 years experience, and he's going to bring that. He knows how to deal with the kids this age and how to teach them how to run properly and take their time, and seems to have a big impact on this team.
And you talk about experience. Senior night here, 13 seniors. I mean, Palmer, Raymond, Wyatt, Shepard, the names we've been calling all night, they're seniors. This is a very mature group. Same for this Paladin offense, as this time it's going to be Shepard down the sideline. Daniel Dukin does knock him out of bounds.
Oh, wow.
Just barely a late whistle. And, man, Shepard got to that edge and took off. Both these offenses having success getting to the outside.
And seeing the replay, really just getting the speed going outside on the short field, no less. That's really impressive. And Duke just barely gets him. And that pursuit angle was just good
enough.
Just enough. All you got to do. So, I mean, the coaches, I played football in middle school, and coaches used to tell me, look, no matter how fast the guy is, you only got to chase him on the field. Chase the sideline to sideline. That's all you got to do.
So Raymond in at quarterback, handoff to Palmer up the middle, jumping over the pile, and down to the 39-yard line. Ball comes out. Again,
sideline says they have it.
Defense saying they have the football third time tonight. Balls come loose. Both times Red Devils have jumped back on the football. See if they say he was down, and it's going to be Paladin football. So a big-time turnover forced there by the defense. Looked like Daniel Duke either forced it or jumped on it as he gets mobbed getting to the sideline.
Then you know your guys are excited when you got Daniel Duke running up to a coach and give him a chest bump. That's awesome to see. That team spirit, really getting excited.
So a big-time turnover forced there by the defense, a fumble.
You can't really see it here.
It looks like Duke rips that football out, and he might have forced it and recovered it.
Wow.
So Daniel Duke, 2 big plays, touchdown saving tackle. Next play creates a turnover. This Paladin offense gets in a nice field position ball on the 39-yard line, 1st and 10. 2:17 on the clock, all 3 timeouts for this offense. And it's going to be a pass here for McCarthy. Wheel route. He's got Baroses down the sideline. Caught it, knocked out of bounds at the 25-yard line. What a catch and throw. McCarthy to Baroses. Big time play after that turnover. You love to see him seize momentum.
Oh, that was fantastic. I mean, that was more the beauty in the play design.
Exactly.
He gets the corner and the safety
down,
corner's down
him
there.
out.
Right, Downs has the safety on him, and the wheel route's wide open. The wheel route, I think, is the most dangerous route in football. It's so effective if run right.
So a timeout's going to be called by the Red Devils. That was about a 35-yard pass play there, really flipping the field. 2:08 remaining here in the second quarter. Chance to score here before the half for Pinecrest.
And going back to Duke, stripping it, from what we can see, stripping it and recovering it. You remember Tyrann Matthew played for LSU. They call him the honey badger on defense because he took what he wanted when he wanted it. And that is a Tyrann Matthew-esque play I think I saw right there by Daniel Duke, ripping that ball out and doing it all by him, single-handedly got the possession back in the hands of the Pinecrest Paladins, and then we see the wheel route right there. And again, we're opening up this pass game maybe a little before they want to. A lot of times they say that for the second half, but hey, you only have a few minutes. You got to be able to drive down the field.
Well, and what a big time for that turnover, right? I mean,
exactly.
Coach Winters talked about this senior group all year, and senior comes up with a big play, gives his offense a chance to take the lead here before the half.
And it's almost like he got it with just enough time left for the offense to drive down the field and get some points.
Big chunk play to start this drive certainly helps. Again, we're here in Bowdon, Georgia. Thanks for tuning in to Pinecrest Academy Football, presented by SUV TV. McCarthy gives it to Holler. Holler has a little bit of room, runs inside the tackles, gains about 4 yards. It's a little bit of that jet sweep look. Get all the action going to one side, bring it to the A-back, coming across formation.
Now I'd like to see him run the clock down a little bit right here. I mean, you're in scoring position.
Look like Holler holding that shoulder a little bit coming off the field. So Addison Ale will come in for him. Ale certainly seen plenty of playing time both sides of the football this year. 1:37 and counting here on the clock. It's going to be a handoff to Binkley. Not a lot of room. Nice tackle there by the junior Kyle Franklin coming off the edge.
And third down right here. Maybe a kind of rollout play. Play action rollout, I could see. It was short pass. You don't have to score yet. But it gets some yards. You have a long field to the right. I don't know. It's an idea. Coach Winter, I know you're obviously not listening, but if you somehow are, maybe just try it.
3rd and 4, 60 seconds here on the clock. It's going to be a keeper by McCarthy getting to the edge and hurdles a man, knocked down near the 13-yard line, and there's going to be whistles. They're going to stop the clock for the first down. So we'll see if Coach Winter chooses to use one of his timeouts. 50 seconds on the clock as the chains move.
I think the Bowdon defense clearly adjusting to that outside run. And that's dangerous for Pinecrest because we've seen as they've been adjusting, we're trying some inside runs, can't seem to get anything going. And so it should be interesting to see how this game shapes out. And I think they'll continue to go outside. I mean, they haven't completely stopped. We got a first down right there, but it's getting close.
Clock running again. It's going to go to Baroses, bouncing it to the outside. Downs on the edge, giving him a nice block. Baroses close, but I think just short. And it's going to be first down yardage. So the clock will stop here.
Looked like his shoulder hit on the half-yard line.
Man, but what a run.
So close.
Again, bringing that A-back across the formation like that jet sweep look. Downs with a good block on the edge. And Baroses just cut under, short. Timeout called here by the Paladins. 28.5 remaining.
Right, like you said, bringing that A-back around the other side. That's just, it's so effective because it allows you to kind of
the eyes of the defense start going one way.
Exactly, and McCarthy can see that. McCarthy can see that. He can tell Coach, hey, they're looking that way. They're looking this way.
Right. They're flowing real fast with the first motion.
Exactly, yeah. So it's, again, that motion, the triple option, a lot of people take that for granted, but it allows the quarterback to get kind of an early read on the defense and see where they're going.
And you see there on the replay, it's like as Baroses starts coming to the near side, all the Red Devil defensemen are off balance because their eyes said the play's going this way, but the ball's coming back this way. What's going on? And again, it comes back to not seeing this triple option offense much.
Right, exactly. It's not their fault, but they can. It's just Pinecrest playing mind games. Half football is what in the psychology of things, and that motion. You can't take it for granted. It affects defense.
Yep. So ball on the 1-yard line. 28 seconds remaining. This Bowdon student section making a little noise. We got some cowbells going. McCarthy under center. Just needs a yard, 1 yard. Touchdowns are his specialty, but he might have to wait another play to add to that tally. And timeout again called by the Paladins.
If there's anything I know about the duo of Ryan McCarthy and Coach Todd Winter, they can manage the clock expertly. It's amazing what they can do. I remember 2 specific games last year against St. Francis and Tryon, I believe it was. And it was just they can drive down the field on the time they want, and they can get the points that they want with a specific time left. And a lot of times there's no time left. That's so precise with how they deal with the clock. It's really impressive to me, and that's where that experience comes in with this Ryan McCarthy being a senior, and all the seniors in the huddle saying, "Hey guys, calm down.
Right.
We got control of the clock. We have the ball. We can drive down the field," and they're just taking their time and score when they want to.
So 21.8 here, 2nd and goal from the 1. Paladins still have one more timeout, so that you can. I mean, as this defense runs on the field, you could see where that football is. I mean, if the wind blows, that football's going to wind up in the end zone. And if Ryan McCarthy falls forward, it's going to be 6 points for the Paladins. But a nice job up front by this defensive line. Number 58, Austin Border, the nose guard. They got to get a push on him. Let McCarthy fall right over his center. And McCarthy bounces it behind the guard, reaches over, touchdown, Paladins. And they're going to come out to try to make this a 6-point lead, although let's see if they stay on to go for 2. Coach Winter's going to send on his extra point unit. So you see McCarthy here. Again, I said nice job by the nose guard. They say, all right, he can get some penetration. We'll follow our right guard and tackle. McCarthy reaches that football over.
Right. A lot of people think, hey, he's going to go off the middle. And McCarthy's just so lengthy. But and yet he can get off the line so quickly that he can go wherever he wants on the field. We see 2 injured players in the play here.
Looks like Langley for the Red Devils pops up. And I can't see who that's down for the Paladins. Looks like it may be number 52, Nolan Stafford.
Now, we've seen him
and again,
go out before. He's such a crucial part of this defense.
Both sides of the football. But and right there, I mean, you see it, Langley and Brown. It's that war in the trenches. I mean, those guys, they get beat up. And for the most part, I mean, we haven't seen a lot of injuries for this Paladin defense. It's been a tough group, a group that's fought on both sides of the ball. A couple guys get banged up here and there, but they get back on the field. So we hope that's the case here with Stafford as he sits up now. Coach Winter came out to check on him. And
again, you mentioned both sides of the ball. And there's the majority of the players on this Paladins team, they play both sides of the ball, but few have the effect on those 2 sides that Nolan Stafford has. And, yeah, like you said, that offensive, the defensive line, that's where it happens.
Had a sack a couple weeks back. I mean, he just and we don't call his name. I mean, there's a lot of guys. I mean, when you're looking down at the roster, you got Nolan Stafford, Stone Brown, Garrison Winter, Alan Yadav. I mean, a lot of guys, we don't call their names, but they're so important to the guys who we do call their names. The reason we're calling their names is because this group up front does their job.
Right, and a lot of times this group up front is all doing a good job. It's hard to single out one person like, oh, he did a great job. It's just such a great group of guys on the defensive line and an offensive line. It's great.
Gene's on for the extra point. That one knuckling up and through inside the right upright. So 14-8 as McCarthy takes in a touchdown from 1 yard out. And, but just back to that point about, the lineman, it's a little bit, it's that unsung position. Talk about the long snapper in this sense a lot, but we're not calling their names because they're doing their job.
Exactly. Half the times, and I try not to be too critical of here. I mean, it's high school football, but you can be critical when you call names. You can be compliment. You can compliment guys when you call names. And again, when you're not calling your name, it most likely means you're just doing a consistently good job. You're standing out so much that you're not standing out. You're just doing your job so well, so much. It's hard to notice because you're always doing it.
Exactly. It's like if you're a lineman, a lot of times the reason you're getting name called is up there he goes Holden again. There goes Smith with another block in the back, you know.
Yeah, exactly. You get notoriety when you do something wrong, but never when you do something right.
Life of the lineman. So Gene's got this one teed up on the far hash. It's the left hash. We saw him pooch the last one. 17.4 remaining here. You think he might just go deep and force this Red Devil offense to have to drive the length of the field if they want any points here before the half, and Jeans does just that, as this one's going to land at the 4-yard line and bounce into the end zone. So a touchback for Jeans.
All right, so start at the 20, and then 17 seconds.
2 timeouts. You could
you
do,
could.
but they haven't really thrown the football. So
Right, yeah. So you don't really know how. And that one deep pass it looked like it's almost sky high.
Right.
So
And it was off that play action. Look, you think this Paladin
right.
defense is probably a little more thinking, hey, they're going to kneel or pass deep on this
yeah,
play.
that would make sense.
So we'll see who comes out at quarterback, if it's Raymond or Palmer. Looking like Palmer right now, it is. So Palmer's in the gun with Wyatt to his left and Beasley to his right. And it's going to go to Wyatt, and he's got some room reversing his field, using the lineman the referee as a blocker. And Wills Brown drags him down after a gain of about 9, and Coach Andrews is going to say that's a good way to end the half. So as the clock ticks to 0, 14-8, Paladins head to the break with a halftime lead. John Paul, quick first half thoughts?
I think both defenses doing a nice job, but again, I think it's just well matched. My thoughts, I think they're both pretty evenly matched teams, and they're both doing a good job, a decent job. I haven't really seen any explosive, any big plays yet, meaningful, impactful, but they're doing a decent job, and the score reflects that.
Pinecrest scores on their first and last drive of the half and lead 14-8 here in Bowdon, Georgia. As we head to the half, we'll be back for Pinecrest Academy football presented by SUV TV for the second half.
This Pinecrest Academy football broadcast is brought to you by Billy Howe Ford, family owned and operated since 1977. Atlanta Rehabilitation and Performance Center, official provider for the Paladins. Team physician, Hain Sports Medicine and Orthopedic Surgery, and Children's Healthcare of Atlanta Foresight, dedicated to all better.
Pinecrest Academy is a private pre-K through 12th grade Catholic school, and our mission is crystal clear: to form our students into Christian leaders who will transform society. The hallmark of a Pinecrest education is our recognition of each student as a unique child of God with special gifts and talents. We believe that God is calling these young people to lead their families, their businesses, and their communities in accordance with His teachings. We welcome those from all faith backgrounds who value excellent education. Part of our Catholic identity is respect for the inquiry of the human mind. Pinecrest Academy's approach is called integral formation. Through this unique process, we address the whole child, intellectually, humanly, spiritually, and apostolically. We also refer to these as the 4 pillars. One thing that makes Pinecrest unique is that we have gender-separated classes that begin in the 4th grade. Research proves that boys and girls learn differently. In this gender-separate environment, students feel free to explore who they are and develop their full potential. Pinecrest wholly believes that you, the parent, are the primary educator of your child. We wish to work alongside you to form them into the adults that God desires them to be. Thank you for considering our school as a partner in the development of your gifts from God.
down, frustrated. Wow. Nice little trick play pulled out as the pitch came a pass, and Holler, probably just a little too excited there, jumped all over it and just missed downs. So that'll bring up 4th down, so they can't take advantage of the turnover to start this quarter.
And like I said before, I talked to a lot of the players, and trick plays like that are just another play in the playbook.
Right.
They practice them every day.
Yeah, and we see with that hook and ladder, a high, not great punt by McCarthy, and it's not even going to take a Paladin bounce.
Ouch.
That punt only about 16 yards, more like 20, but still not what this offense, or excuse me, not how this defense wanted to start this possession. Exactly how the Red Devil offense wanted to start it, though.
Yeah, Collar just overthrowing him. But, I mean, when you think about it, you got Corey Downs and Ryan McCarthy playing together for 4 years, throwing passes. And Holler, I don't think I've ever seen him throw a pass to Downs.
Right.
So it's just that chemistry isn't there.
And Downs was so wide open.
It was so wide open.
I think Holler just got a little excited. So here we go. It's going to be a handoff to Wyatt. And Downs doesn't take him down. Ball's ripped out. Addison Ale got it. Addison Ale ripped that football out and fell right back on top of it. 3rd turnover by this Pinecrest defense.
And that's 2 in a span of, 2 minutes now?
Yep. So this Pinecrest defense giving up a couple of explosive plays, but forcing turnovers, giving this offense another chance here. Addison Ale, man, he almost just kind of feels like the unsung hero, right? You know, he plays that A-back, but he doesn't get the Holler and Barozas kind of touches.
Right.
He plays corner, but Downs and Duke seem to get all the interceptions. But Ale, he's just a plug guy. He just seems to fit in exactly where Coach Winter needs him.
Right, and he's there when you need him on the field, and he's there when you need him in time like that. Whenever you need something to happen, he's on it.
Hunter Hawk nowhere to go. Met right at the line of scrimmage by number 56, Zaylen Wood.
Yeah, some tough defense being played by Bowdon coming out here in the second half.
And you thought after both teams scored in their opening possession, really moved the ball pretty easily down the field, we were going to be in for a shootout. Only seen 1 score since then.
And it's refreshing to see a defensive game. You know, in the day and age of pass-happy football, score. It's good to see this kind of game.
Roses comes in motion. Now they're going to change the field, but it's going to be give up to Hawk right up the middle. Nowhere to go. Maybe back to the line of scrimmage. Bring up 3rd and 9 here for this Paladin offense. 7.5 in the 3rd quarter. But, I mean, this defense is something we've seen out of this Paladin team all year. 3 shutouts this season. We mentioned it coming off back-to-back shutouts. First time in school history the team's had 3 shutouts in a season. And so, you know, we expect this out of the defense. The offense, you know, this is the time in the game where we expect them to really get in their rhythm, get in their flow here. You know, a big play on 3rd and 9, keep this drive alive. That gets you that momentum. McCarthy's going to throw it. Has nice protection, can set his feet, hits Binkley on the comeback route, and on the far sideline, Jack Binkley gets a 1st down.
That was a beautiful throw. I mean, a strike right down in the tiptoeing into the sideline. That's that kind of play. That comeback, that rollout comeback, is the play that they've been running since their freshman year, 4 years ago, since that July. And it doesn't matter if he's running with Jack or Corey or Carson Holler. They're going to run a great route, and McCarthy's throwing a strike right there. Beautiful throw, beautiful catch.
And we see, again, a nice pocket formed by this offensive line. Kept an extra back in to help out. Got the 1st down there. It's going to be a give to Hawk. McCarthy didn't want to give that football up, but finally does, and Hawk picks up 2 yards.
Yeah, and that's the one thing about the triple option, and I guess any option in that situation. But the quarterback, and we see it happen a lot in college and NFL, where he doesn't make a decision quick enough, and a running back doesn't know if he has the ball. He takes off running, and the ball ends up on the ground. Defense recovers. So you got to make the right decision. You got to make it quick.
2nd and 8 here. It's going to be a keeper for McCarthy. Pitches it out to Barozas. It's a nice block from Holler. Coming down the near sideline and tracked down by Raymond. Nice block behind the line by Holler to give Barozas some room. A little bit of a tight pitch there.
Yeah, a tight pitch. It looked like he could have gotten him in the backfield, but some nice blocking set up a decent outside run. That's what Burrow just does best, get out of the sidelines. He kind of tripped up there, but
Raymond did a nice job corralling him, slowing him
Yeah.
down, tripping him up. So it brings up a 3rd and 2 here as Downs will bring the play in, and Patrick Sullivan will join to be the extra tight end. Him and Alan Yadav usually line up in those tight end spots as extra linemen. And they're going to go heavy set to the left side. Sullivan will be the tackle at the near side. Holler comes in motion, and they try to get the Red Devils to jump. They get back. McCarthy's going to give it to Hawk, has a little wiggle room, and gets enough for the first down.
And you saw Michael Barrozus on that play kind of blocked up the middle. Not something we see him do a lot, but he kind of looked like he could have made a hole for Hawk to run to the right side, but you never know. It's that kind of vision that can only come with experience, and Hawk may not be there yet, but it's get some positive yards.
Hawk, only a freshman, been a varsity contributor really since game 1. An early season injury forced him into action, and he's been a playmaker ever since. Both sides of the football, we see him. They fake it to him. Holler gets to the edge. Doesn't have a lot of room versus his field, and cut up underneath by number 12, Kyle Franklin. Franklin, an athletic-looking linebacker, defensive back, plays tight to the line of scrimmage. He's made a couple nice plays so far tonight.
Yeah, he's for linebacker / defensive back. He's more physical than I've seen a lot of guys this season. It's good to see that, but he's not afraid of playing press coverage, get up in your face, get his hands on you. You know, it's good to see a defensive secondary or a linebacker doing that in a day and age where they're just doing a lot of running around pass coverage.
And we have a Paladin down. It looks like it may be Carson Holler. He did get cut up underneath on that run. They're looking at his left leg. Certainly don't want to speculate anything, but hate to see that for Holler for this team. 4:48 remaining here.
And especially going into playoff time.
Yeah, right.
You cannot afford to have really, injuries are never, I'm not going to say necessary, but at this point, that would be like an unnecessary kind of, when you're playing this kind of crossover game.
It's a tough time to lose for an injury to happen.
Exactly.
So Holler's sitting up. They're going to help him up. He's definitely favoring that left leg. So walking off with a little bit of a limp, but under his own power. So we'll see how that affects Carson Holler and this Paladin team. Of course, Holler, big part of everything they do, returning the football offensively.
Definitely.
Huge part of their defense. Does a great job playing that safety, playing tight to the line of scrimmage. So training staff will check him out. Addison Ale, we just talked about him, just created a fumble there, got the ball back to the offense. He'll come in Holler spot in that A-back spot. Too many words right there in a row. Thanks for tuning in to Pinecrest Academy football presented by SUV TV here in the 3rd quarter in Bowdon, Georgia. Paladins driving, looking to extend this 14-8 lead. Barrozus comes in motion. It's going to be a pass for Holler. A little bit of a corner route there. Early contact from the defensive back. No flag comes out. Looked like Beasley got to Downs a little bit early on that one.
And they're not supposed to throw the flag if it looks like he's going for the ball. And I don't know about that one, but that's a. I kind of like
bang play. Certainly a bang play. I think is, as maybe a little biased towards the Paladins. We were looking for the call, but a good football play. Beasley did a nice job breaking on that ball.
Hey, the most we can ask is that they're consistent. So our defensive backs should be able to do that to them next drive. That's how it should happen.
So 3rd and 12 here. Bowdon crowd making some noise on the home side. Blitz coming. Draw play for Hunter Hawk. And disrupted once again. All up in the backfield for the Red Devils. It's Zaylen Wood. Nice blitz there. Tripped up Hawk on that delay.
And Zaylen Wood really just getting back there quick. And
watch him time this on the blitz right there, untouched. He really had Hawk or McCarthy on that one.
And I think we saw him early in the half. He kind of almost jumped off sides. But when you time it just perfectly like that, and there's guys that can run back there and kind of be overwhelmed and don't know what to do. But he
got there,
knew exactly where he was going. Exactly, broke down, caught Hunter Hawk.
And late flag comes in from the back judge. Seems like it would be a delay of game. Maybe too many men on the field. And they're counting how many red jerseys are out there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I got 11. Back judge.
Huh.
So they're going to wave the flag off, so not too many men.
It's always good to check.
So McCarthy back to punt. Carson Palmer standing on his own 19-yard line. 3:50 remaining here. Last two Red Devil offensive possessions ended in turnover. Downs had his 8th interception of the year, and Addison Ale ripped the ball loose. And getting close to the punt there. Can the Paladins get to it?
Oh.
They can. It rolls in the end zone. Looked like they couldn't find the ball in the air. So that drive, this drive will start at the 20-yard line. 3:40 remaining here in the third quarter. Bowdon looking for their first score since their opening drive of the game.
And we see Carson Holler coming back on the field. It's still a little bit of a limp, but I saw right before that punt over on the sidelines, he was, sure enough, he was doing sprints, right, up and down the field. But we'll see how that goes. He's still got to be careful. I mean, when you guys get injured and you put them back on the field, sure, they can still play, but the risk of an injury is even higher then.
And you certainly don't want to put him out there if he's not, in a position to play, because that hurts the defense. You know, a guy like Holler, he's going to find his way on the field. And I'll be honest, I expect him to make a couple plays.
I hope he does. Yeah, he's a critical part of this defense.
Dylan Raymond in at quarterback. He's going to hand it off to Wyatt to the right side, trying to get to the sideline. He does. McCarthy's going to try to chase him down. McCarthy drags him out of bounds. The Pinecrest coaching staff saying he stepped out of bounds way back at his own 48-yard line, and that is where they'll spot him. But Wyatt gets to the edge there. Nice blocking on the perimeter, as we see here on the replay. And Holler maybe just a little bit slow there, but Wyatt has incredible speed, so certainly don't even know if that's injury related. May just be a poor angle taken there.
Right, I mean, Wyatt's just so fast. It kind of doesn't matter what angle you have on him.
Right.
He's going to get around you. When he hits that next gear, he just turns that corner. I mean, he's so quick.
Daniel Gibbs splits out to the near side. Shotgun again. Raymond in at quarterback. This is going to go right back to Wyatt. He's going to cut this one up. Tries to get to the sideline. Holler's there to corral him, but not before he gets a gain of about 13 and a first down.
And we're really starting to see him spread out on the field here. Run outside, sort of what Pinecrest did earlier in the game. But certainly not what Bowdon did earlier in the game. They were running up the middle, passing it deep a little bit, and Corey Downs obviously picked that off. But we're seeing running outside, taking advantage of the matchups that they have with that speed of Wyatt. And it's really been beneficial to them to get some good blocking out there, get some positive yards. Defense has got to adjust.
Wyatt and Beasley in the backfield. Raymond still in at quarterback. It's going to go to Beasley this time. There, keep working that right side. He cuts it up. Another first down. 3 plays, 3 first downs here for this Red Devil offense. Brooks Binkley a little gimpy getting up after that play. So here we go. This Red Devil offense finally moving the football after 2 turnovers on their previous 2 drives.
Yeah, they're really, really looking fluid here. They're looking like they've been running this offense for years.
They've run that right side. They go again. Beasley once again tripped up there. Nice play. Looked like that might have been number 81, Wills Brown. Getting them by the ankles there. So finally they slow him down there. And, it's a small gain, but it's like, hey, we slowed them down, right? We figured out what they're doing. Now let's lock down again. The field shrinks. This is when this defense seems to get a little bit stronger.
Right, yeah, again, that bend but don't break.
See if they can get a push up front. Jackson Wilmot in that nose guard spot. See if he can get in the backfield. Beasley and Wyatt in the backfield again. This time it's Wyatt coming to the near side, trying to get to the edge. McCarthy's going to track him down and run him backwards for a loss of about 2. Nice job, Ryan McCarthy, getting to the edge there.
Right, I'm just thinking here. If you're Bowdon and you score here, so you be up and you kick the field goal, assumingly. You be up by 1 point. You know what? My math was wrong. I was thinking that if they went for 2, they'd be up by a field goal. My math, man, this drive is affected. Long drive. It's been a long drive, Ned. Yeah, that's simple math. Man, I had calculus today.
That's always your excuse on Fridays.
Yeah, man.
Persevere. Here we go, 3rd and 10. Ball in the 30, a little bit outside field goal range. They're going to hand it off to Shepard. He's got some room, but not enough for a first down. Gain of about 5. So down to the 24-yard line.
And Shepard, Wyatt, and Beasley, that trio, they're all very fast. I think Beasley tends to be the power runner out of the 3 of them. Really hard to stop, though. I mean, we got Barozis on our side, Holler, you're kind of that duo in our backfield, but I don't think we have a trio quite like these 3 who are just all fast and a good amount of power, too. It's got to be hard to defend.
4th and 5 here for the Red Devils. Try to draw this defense off sides. Good discipline by the Paladins there.
Very good discipline.
Looking to the offensive coordinator. Let's see if they run a play here. 4th and 5, clock at 30 seconds remaining here in the 3rd quarter. They try to draw them off sides again. This Paladin defense does a great job staying disciplined, and the Red Devils use a timeout. I'll tell you what, that might not look like a pretty play to those watching at home. May not show up in the box score, but that's a big play staying on side right there.
Certainly.
As a certified financial planner, Pinecrest Academy family member Bill Kiernan brings the professional certification that provides peace of mind that you will receive sound advice for your financial planning needs. Bill provides safe money strategies. Whether you're looking to participate in market gains or avoid costly money management fees to grow your wealth, Bill can provide support and guidance. Follow the lead of many of your friends at Pinecrest and call Bill at 678-776-4592 to learn what he can do for you. You can rest assured that following safe money strategies with Bill can provide the asset growth that you desire. So we're back here at Bowdon High School here in Bowdon, Georgia. Alongside John Paul Hoover, I'm Ned Case. John Paul, we just saw the Red Devil offense try to draw Pinecrest off sides there. Nice discipline by the defense. Red Devils use a timeout. It looks like the offense is still on the field here. So it seems like they've had a lot of success running to the right side. You expect that again? Maybe a pass where they haven't had as much success, but try to catch this Pinecrest defense sleeping?
Right, it'll be interesting to see what they do here. I would expect a pass. They've already been picked off once, but that's on deep passing. We haven't seen him throw short a lot, so I would expect him to throw short here.
So it's the senior Raymond in the backfield. He's got Wyatt and Beasley. It's going to be a pass down the middle of the field. Wide open, caught, touchdown, Bowdon. There's the play action fake that Coach Winter was worried about, and that's going to result in a touchdown for the Red Devils. They tie this one up at 14. Extra point would give them the lead.
Look, there's a play action fake where there's one guy covering, and there's a play action fake where there's nobody covering. That was just that fake. It fooled me watching it, and then seeing him go out. That's just a great play call. It's maybe the defense could have recognized the fact that they probably would pass it. I don't know, but it's just a good play.
Palmer, extra point, looks like it's wide, and it is. It's no good. So a big missed extra point there by Palmer makes the score 14-14. So a little bit of a break there for the Paladins. But you called it. I mean, it's a play action. We talked about one of our keys of the game, right? It was power plays, pooch kicks, and play actions, and Bowdon gets it there.
You got to stay disciplined. Look, you can, when you're defense, you can stay disciplined and not jump off sides all you want. But during the play, I don't know what their individual assignments were. I'm sure it looked like some kind of blitz, like they were going to take a chance. But clearly, maybe a missed assignment, or just, again, they could have just done a blitz and expected them to run it, or say, hey, let's get to the quarterback before he throws it. Look, tie game. They missed the extra point. So you got the ball, and I think if you drive down the field here and score, you still have solid control of this game.
So 20.8 remaining here in the 3rd quarter. Like you talked about, Red Devils went down and scored, but certainly the momentum up to this point has been on the side of the Paladins here in the 3rd quarter. Touchdown, or excuse me, pair of turnovers. Nice drive. Again, just can't seem to quite punch it in. We talk about the Paladins defense being bend but not break. We've seen that out of the Red Devil defense as well. So here we go. pooch kick coming from Parmer. This is kind of a deep pooch kick. Barozis fields it at the 24, trying to find a little running room, ducks out of bounds right about the 30-yard line. That's where this offense will start the drive. So, you know, the pooch kick, it seems like more so than field position, it just kind of takes away the element of a return. You know, we saw Carson Holler on senior night a couple weeks ago against Whitfield return a kickoff for a touchdown, and when you just kick it like that, it just doesn't allow you time to set up the block in, gives your guys time to get downfield, and you see Barozis gets 4 or 5 yards, but there's just not a lot of room to run.
And I'm personally, I mean, this is at a high school level, but I'm still surprised that a lot of teams just don't adopt that. And I mean, because you don't have a lot of guys who can kick it out of the end zone. I think it's a very effective way of kicking.
Ooh, McCarthy with a nice fake pitch, keeps it, only gains about 4 yards, but nice start to this drive. Ball gets out to the 35-yard line.
I haven't seen a lot out of McCarthy in terms of running the ball, and he's certainly been on target passing, but I think if he can really explode in this fourth quarter in terms of running the ball, gives the offense a good shot.
Last week, McCarthy 144 rush yards and 3 touchdowns. We'll hopefully see more of him getting in the end zone when we return for the fourth quarter here from Bowdon, Georgia, right after this break.
If you want a used vehicle, but you also want peace of mind, you want a Ford certified pre-owned vehicle. Because every Ford CPO vehicle is given a rigorous 172-point inspection by Ford factory-trained technicians. From the radiator to the transmission, to the engine, to the air conditioning, and every Ford CPO vehicle is backed by Ford. With 7-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty coverage. Plus 12-month, 12,000-mile limited warranty coverage. Ford certified pre-owned. A car that's inspected by Ford and backed by Ford. So what does that mean to you? Relax, it's covered.
And welcome back to Pinecrest Academy Football, presented by SUV TV. I'm Ned Case alongside John Paul Hoover. Thanks for tuning in. As the Paladins have made the 97-mile trek, hour and a half by the GPS, probably more like 2 or more with the Friday Atlanta traffic, but it has not seemed to affect this Paladin defense. The offense at times has shown flashes, but would love to see 2 to 3 drives put together by this offense here in the fourth quarter, put this one on ice and head to the playoffs with a lot of momentum. So here we go, McCarthy under center. He's going to keep it, pitches it out to Barozis. Ale gets him a nice block on the edge and slung down by his jersey. His Barozis still picks up about 3 yards there, bringing up a 3rd and 4 here for this offense.
So you see him getting slung down by his jersey on the replay right here. And the players, the way the uniforms are made, and Nike does a real nice job of this, they make it real, kind of almost skin tight. Yeah, so you can't grab it like you would be able to 10, 20 years ago and just drag a guy down. I mean, obviously, you get him there, and maybe borderline horse collar, I don't know. But, you know, it's the way those jerseys, specifically these white jerseys, they have a band around the waist, so they don't even have to tuck it in. It's so tight and so fitting. The players love it, so they feel like they're wearing nothing. They're just playing out there.
So 3rd down here, trying to keep this drive alive. It's going to be to Binkley, and he bullies forward to the 41. Near the first down marker, depends on the spot. Looks like he's going to be about a step short. Let's see if they bring the chains out. The officials call a timeout, so the clock stops with 11 minutes to go in the fourth quarter, and they're going to bring the chains out. So ball is at the 40 and a half. Need to get to a little over the 41-yard line for a first down. Again, we talked about that 97-mile drive, you know, an hour and a half, 2 hour with traffic. Your Coach Winter, as they measure here, Coach Winter talked about they're going to be a little short here, 4th and short. Coach Winter talked about getting off the bus, and you mentioned in the pregame. You know, it's like when you're on a long road trip, you get up and your legs are a little shaky. You got to get your bounce back. I mean, it seems like from the opening whistle, this Pinecrest team was settled in and ready to play.
It seems like they were settled in and ready to play, and I think that's just a testament to the energy in this team, and there's certainly a lot of energy in this stadium right now. Crowd's going crazy.
4th and short here.
Yeah,
Offensive line's going to have to get a good push up front.
Motivated team. They're ready to play wherever they are.
Drew Duffy at nose guard for the Red Devils. Been a menace all night. See if McCarthy and the offense can get that half yard they need. McCarthy following his lead blockers. Close to it. He only needed about a foot. I think he got it. Hard not to trust McCarthy to get that yard when you need it, and he does. So big time conversion there for this Paladin offense. We see it here on the replay. Again, they run away from the nose guard. Wood, he's done a nice job all night, and they just follow the guard and tackle. You see Binkley getting up there to lead block for McCarthy. And again, all he needed was a little less than a yard.
And it looked like you got the big hitter, Kyle Franklin, number 12, standing on the other side. So you got to be wary of him. McCarthy does a nice job getting outside and getting down before anybody can strip the ball or take a shot at him.
So Brooks Binkley in the backfield. A-backs are Ale and Baroses. Jack Binkley split to the near side as a receiver. It's going to be a handoff to Brooks Binkley. He stumbles forward, gain of about 2.5 out to the 45-yard line.
And that was such a big play for Bowdon, and you got to think that's a bit demoralizing. Where you had him on 4th down, and you just barely allow it, and the crowd wasn't into it. But it's a good statement by Pinecrest, and hey, we're not just gonna give in. I mean, you've had some of the momentum a little bit here, but hey, we're still one of the best offenses in the region.
Trying to win those power plays. Again, a well-timed blitz. Get the handoff off Addison Ale. A lot of room up the middle. And he's going to get dragged down at the 35-yard line. Once again, it's number 56 busting through there. That's Zaylen Wood. But get the handoff off just in time. You see it. He is right there ready to tackle McCarthy. But Addison Ale does a nice job getting the football, dancing around a little bit. Big time run there. Ailes made a couple big plays tonight. Holler a little bit banged up, taking a couple series off. Right, no drop off with Ale.
Right, and we see kind of what Hunter Hawk did with Brooks Binkley, and then it's kind of staying in the lineup. I would expect Ale. I mean, he's a good runner. We just don't see him a lot.
McCarthy keeps it, pitches out to Baroses. Not a lot of room. Maybe a yard there.
And you see when he runs out of bounds, kind of bouncing into that wall. I mean, that's about, it looks like less than 10 feet right there. And then out of the back of the end zone of the
brick wall that we saw.
The brick wall.
We already saw the Lamar R. Plunkett Fieldhouse.
the Plunkett Fieldhouse kind of encroaching on the field right here. I mean, if you're going on a go route and you catch that in the end zone, I mean, you got to watch out.
So
that's a brick wall. I mean, you got the aluminum on the bleachers right there, but you got a brick right there.
Triple option to the near side, only gained about 2 yards. They're going to fumble the football. McCarthy, the ball bounced right back up to him, luckily, and he's going to lose about 2 yards. That football was bouncing around for the time he turned around. Luckily bounced right back up to his chest. McCarthy, cool, calm, collected senior, just gathered the football, did what he could. But that'll bring up a 3rd and long here.
Yeah, that's the definition of a lucky bounce. But yeah, like you said, it looked very cool, calm, almost like nothing happened.
Right.
You know, a lot of players might trip up or something, end up losing the football.
Right, yeah,
but
kick it further back.
kick it 10 yards down the field. But.
So 3rd and 12 here for this Paladin offense. The Red Devil crowd making some noise. We hear those shakers. I think this could be 3rd down territory here, or excuse me, 4 down territory here, depending on how this 3rd down goes. For the Paladins, it's going to be a pass from McCarthy going down the sideline, threw it to the back shoulder of Ale, but a little out of bounds. And now with no gain there, you know Coach Winter loves field position. We'll see what he does.
And he had Ale open there, but you know, I'm loving this crowd. This crowd, the energy of this is really exciting. Kind of gets into playoff mood.
Those November nights.
Oh yeah, man, it's cold weather.
Finally got pants and jackets on. That's the first time. All fall. So here we go. The punt team comes on, and I think probably the right call here. You know, this Red Devil offense did put together a nice drive in their last one, but really only 2 sustaining drives. Otherwise, nice job by this Paladin defense. So McCarthy stands right around midfield to punt this one away to Parmer. Parmer standing on his own 7-yard line. And maybe too much into that one. And it does. Great hustle there. Hogan, Palmer, and Corey Downs tried to get down there to down it, but bounced into the end zone.
Do you notice what Palmer did? He signaled for a fair catch. So when the punt team running down
Converged
into
onto
lanes.
him.
Right, they're converging onto him. They're not looking at the ball. They have no idea where the ball is. And that's what they're supposed to do. They're not supposed to look for the ball. And by him signaling for the fair catch and them slowing down, he prevents them from going to touch the ball right outside the goal line. That's just a smart move by Palmer. And
veteran play by a senior.
Exactly.
It's what I'm sure Coach Andrews expects and wants out of this senior group, especially someone like Palmer who does do so much, but they're going to go back to Dylan Raymond at the quarterback position, threw for a touchdown on their last drive. He's going to give it to Beasley to start this drive. Beasley up the middle, can he break away? He does. Downs going to have to try to chase him down at the 40, Beasley to the 30. Beasley knocked out of bounds at the 24-yard line. Big time run there by the 6'1", 195 sophomore Aaron Beasley. Finally knocked out of bounds.
And he's just a sophomore. And
look at that speed.
I know, the speed, my goodness. But the fact he's a sophomore, I feel bad for the single A region 6A because they're going to have to deal with him for 2 more years. I mean, we're obviously not. But in this game, you got to adjust to the speed. I don't know, maybe move the defensive backs out a little outside, force them inside the linebackers. I don't know. But there are few ways to counteract speed. It kills. I mean, you can't really defend it.
It's going to go to Wyatt this time. Excuse me, that Shepard stays on his feet and knocked out of bounds at the 12-yard line. Carson Holler on the tackle there. Shepard, Wyatt, Beasley, man, they all look about the same, getting them confused there. That one was Tay Shepard, one of the seniors.
Yeah, even they got sophomores and seniors, but they all look equally comfortable in that position. I mean, we got 8 minutes left in the game, got approaching crunch time, and they look very comfortable in this offense. Coach Andrews doing a nice job, and they're running very patiently and effectively. That's hard to defend. I think it's more of a good job by this Bowdon offense as opposed to the defense losing the responsibilities. They're just playing a really good game.
Shotgun, 2 backs. We've seen this all night. This is going to go to Wyatt. He's going to be wrapped up and corralled inside the 10. It'll be a first down. First and goal from the 8-yard line here for the Red Devil offense. 8:35 on the clock. It'll restart on the whistle after the chains get set.
And if Bowdon scores here, Pinecrest has to score on their next drive. I mean, they're going to have...
Especially the way Bowdon's run the football, and it can eat up clock.
Right, exactly. And their defense starting to catch on to what the Pinecrest, they're kind of mixing it up. But I mean, they have minimal control of the game right now. They're going to have no control if they don't score on their next drive.
Raymond in the shotgun. He's got Shepard and Beasley with him. It's going to go to Shepard. And nice defense there. Hunter Hawk and Jack Binkley combined to tackle him, but still a gain of about 3 there down to the 5-yard line. They were sitting there waiting for him, but again, that speed and that quickness, you have to respect it. Can't go flying upfield and lunge.
Right, and that comes down to just breaking down, getting ready to make the tackles. It's all about reaction to what he's doing. And the thing about flying in, you're making that assumption that he's going to continue in the direction that he's going. You can't. That just doesn't happen. So you got to be able to break down, take your time, and you got to know that this guy is trying to avoid you just as much as you're trying to tackle him.
So second and goal from the 5 here. It's going to go to White. Ball's on the ground. Ball is on the ground. It looked like the Red Devils jumped on it and rolled over the football to keep possession. No signal from the officials, and now the signal. It'll stay Red Devil football. So third and goal. That's about the 4th or 5th time they've put it on the turf tonight. Paladins have scooped up 2. Hard to see where this football came out. It may have just been a miscommunication between the quarterback and running back.
And we've seen both teams in the second half. And fortunately, we have Ryan McCarthy to get calm, cool, and collected to recover. But both teams playing a bit sloppy with the ball. You know, I mean, not something that you would expect at this point in the season. Maybe it's something to look at going into the playoffs. You cannot afford turnovers in playoffs or in any game for that matter. But
So here we go.
Gotta be careful.
You see this Red Devil offense spread it out for the first time. 2 receivers coming in motion. It's Shepard. They give it to Shepard. He's going to try to get to the edge. He throws the football. Intercepted. Carson Holler. Big time play by Carson Holler. Shepard was trying to get it to Gibbs, who was open in the back of the end zone, but a poor throw, and Carson Holler was there to make a play.
Man, Carson Holler, I mean, the reaction time.
Mm-hmm.
I was looking for the wide receiver in the end zone. I didn't even see Carson.
Right, yeah, he's flashed. You see it here on the replay. A nice play, ready to throw the football, and Holler just gets under that football. I think that's twice today we've seen potential touchdown throws by running backs that haven't been completed.
That's true. And I mean, Holler looked like he was ready for that play. Because it's kind of like a play that they run in the Paladins offense.
Right,
so
right.
You're like, hey, he's not running full speed. He's looking to pass it.
Give to Hawk. He falls forward for a gain of about 2. Again, this defense comes up big. Holler with his 2nd interception of the year. So 6:48 and counting here in the 4th quarter. Paladins need to go 93 yards to get in the end zone. Need to go about 73 yards to get in Stuart Jean's kicking range. Carson Holler just picked off a pass to keep the Red Devils out of the end zone. It's going to be a keeper by McCarthy. He's going to hold it, get to the edge. He's got a first down and more. Up the sideline, down near the 30-yard line. He got pushed late. Doesn't look like a flag's going to come out. Coach Winter jumping around. He is upset. He's like, my guys on the sideline got nowhere to go. You give me bleachers 10 feet behind my sideline.
Yeah, that's a good point.
So
I mean,
that's tough, but a big time play there, run by McCarthy to get out of their own end zone.
Right, and that's. You saw Jack Binkley, the wide receiver, on this replay right here, doing a good job in the block. He bought Ryan McCarthy about 10 extra yards on that play. That's great blocking downfield. That's something that we've seen out of this team throughout the season. Attention to detail. That's what it all comes down to.
First and 10 from the 27 here. And McCarthy's going to give it up the middle. Binkley breaking a couple tackles. Finally dragged down Dylan Raymond, quarterback, in there on the tackle, playing linebacker for the defense here. Nice run there on first down.
Yeah, I mean, again, we're getting used to these big plays running outside. Well, you can't forget the triple option. You only need 2 or 3 yards every play. That's what it's designed to get you. And, I mean, Coach Winter has really used it to perfection in the years he's been here. And I assume that carry him pretty far in the playoffs if they run it correctly.
2nd and 4 here, and they give to Binkley again. He's got first down yardage, dragged down just shy of the 40. You mentioned it, Coach Winter, 5th year here, leading the Paladins, record of 34-18. Trip to the 2nd round of the playoffs last year. Looks like they're headed back to the playoffs this year right now in that 11th spot of the top 24 that make the playoff. So a win here could vault them up even a little bit higher, put them in position to host a couple home playoff games. But you know they'd love to be 7-3 heading into the playoffs, getting a good win here on the road. It's going to be McCarthy on the keeper, bouncing it outside, stays on his feet, cut up underneath. Nice tackle right there by Aaron Beasley, flying up to cut up McCarthy for only about a 3-yard gain.
And you talk about the option of having, the possibility of having 1 or 2 home games in the playoff. And don't underestimate home field advantage in high school football. I mean, obviously, college NFL, you have stadiums packed with tens of thousands of your fans. But high school, it's less about, the crowd's a big part of it, but it's more about just being on your field, on your turf. You're used to playing there.
And they get the defense offsides. Finally, one of their timed blitzes did not work, and that'll be 5 free yards, bring up a 2nd and 2 here for the Paladins. But and not only that, but, you know, state playoffs, obviously you're not playing your region. You're not playing all the teams that are within 20, 30 miles of you, and we see it tonight. You might have to travel 100 miles. You might have to travel 2 hours, and then it's can you get off the bus and be ready to play. We saw this Paladin team ready to do it today. They may have to do that come playoff time, hopefully after a couple home playoff games.
Hopefully after the home.
So McCarthy under center, 2nd and 3 here. It's going to be a give to the B-back. I don't know if that was Baroses or Hawkin that time. It looks like it's, who's going to get up from the bottom of the pile? Looks like Brooks Binkley there. Excuse me, I meant to say Binkley, not Baroses. I'm all over the place again. Apologize to all you watching at home. And I'm sure there are a lot of you watching at home because only about 20 of the faithful Paladins fans made the trek over here. I'm just kidding. They're more than 20. We got about 40, 50, and they've been loud. And this Paladin team, they fought hard all night. 4 minutes remaining. Score tied up at 14. Ball right at the midfield line. It's going to be a give to Binkley again, only about 1 yard, but crosses into Bowdon territory.
Yeah, I would compare this to in terms of the Pinecrest fans' turnout. If you think all the way back to the first game against South, after halftime, after that, 45-minute long rain
45,
delay.
that seems generous.
The fans that stayed really were, and I wrote about it in my article. The article read about the game. That was my MVP of the game, the fans in the stands. It was really impressive to see. And again, in this game, a 2-hour drive, you're not going to get home till the AM hours. It's really impressive to see him here.
Baroses gets it up the middle. He's got room. Baroses 35, 30, 25, 20. They won't catch him. 10, 5, touchdown. Michael Baroses. 3:06 remaining here in the 4th quarter, and the Paladins lead by 6.
My goodness, he's fast. He just made one cut, takes off. Look at this replay right here.
And this is this action we've seen all night. Those jet sweeps almost for the A-backs. Get the line moving one way, go the other. And, man, when Baroses gets to the open field, you knew he wasn't going to get caught.
Oh, I mean, he just avoided one tackle by the linebacker, and he's gone. It's too quick.
So Stuart Jeans on for the extra point. Hunter Hawk will hold. Good snap, good hold, and no good. Pushed it left. Pulled that one left, so 20-14. We've seen missed extra points on both sides, and let's hope that one doesn't come back to hurt this Paladin team.
Yeah, I mean, we saw last game miss an extra point, but then you end up winning 42-0. But, I mean, this game, now Bowdon's only down by 6, and they could win with an extra point. So this puts a little bit more pressure on the defense. So
certainly. So Michael Baroses now 2 touchdowns on the night. First one to open the game for 14 yards out. This one to take the lead with 3:06 remaining in the 4th quarter, 49 yards. Man, when he hit that 35-yard line, you knew he wasn't going to get caught, and he coasted into the end zone. So this defense already forced 4 turnovers on the night, 2 interceptions, 2 fumbles, looking for one more turnover that could seal this game.
I think, one more turnover would certainly seal this game. And if you were to get the ball again and prevent them from scoring on this drive, all you would need is a field goal and a touchdown at most to seal the deal.
So here we go. Baroses got it lined up on the hashes. We've seen pooches from him most of the night. Sent one deep at the end of the first half, so we'll see what they choose to do. I mean, easy pooch punch. Maybe you get the ball back. They got a short field. If they get it, kick it deep, make them drive the length of the field. So we'll see what Coach Winter decides. We saw Stuart Jeans looking over there. It looks like he's going to take a pooch kick approach at it, and he does. A nice pooch will be fielded out about the 22-yard line. High kick gave the Paladins plenty of time to get downfield. Not a great job in coverage as they get about a 13-yard return their ball up to the 35-yard line. So 65 yards for the Red Devils to get in the end zone to tie it up, and an extra point would win it. 2:58 here. This is, and we talk about the crossover game, and it's, why do we do it? Are there really playoff implications? Is it really worth, that 2-hour drive? But this right here, you can't simulate this in practice. You can't simulate this when you're playing Whitfield and St. Francis. This is a 3-minute. Defense has to get a stop. If you're Bowdon in 3 minutes, you have to get a score. This is where you get better and prepare for late November, early December playoff pushes.
Exactly. And when you're in the playoffs, we feel the pressure right here of having to win. But in the playoffs, the entire game is going to feel like this. Because you win or lose and you're going home. So again, you got to get used to this pressure.
Shotgun handoff to Beasley. He wiggles some room. He's got a first down. Hawk and McCarthy combined to drag him down after an 11-yard run. So a nice start to the drive for this Red Devil offense. Get the ball up to the 46-yard line. It's been Dylan Raymond in at quarterback most of the second half. Came in during the second quarter, had a drive. Then we saw Carson Palmer come back in. Palmer played a little running back, doing a little bit of everything. But it's mostly been the backs of Wyatt and Beasley with Shepard really chipping in on that last drive. It's going to be Beasley again, working that left side of the offensive line. Gain of 5.
And they're running down the clock at this point, and it's still got to get downfield. It's
Right,
the clock management becomes a big deal on defense also.
Right.
You got 3 timeouts. We have 3 timeouts.
Pinecrest with 3, Bowdon with 2. We'll go quick game reset for you. 2:15 and counting on the clock. Pinecrest up 20-14. 3 timeouts for the Paladins, 2 for the Red Devils. Palmer back in at quarterback. Palmer in at running back. Coming in motion, it's Wyatt. They give it to Wyatt. He's got a little room and a first down. Garrison Winter, nice job pursuing the ball downfield, makes a tackle, but not before a 10-yard run and a first down for Bowdon.
Right, and so, again, on defense, if there was a little more time left on the clock, and you have to really trust in your offense at this point, but some defense would actually allow the offense to score if they were in a scoring position so that they couldn't run down the clock. So, but again, just play good defense.
Handoff to Wyatt. Great job by McCarthy. Garrison Winter got a push up front, and that's a nice negative play there for this Paladin defense, and Bowdon will use their second timeout. So that's a big play. One for the loss there, a loss of about 5-6 yards. They keep moving the chains back. But you also force Bowdon to use one of their 2 remaining timeouts.
Right. And that's the important part, getting rid of their timeouts. And again, I think the Paladin defense is adjusting. They're making they're in position to make a lot of tackles. A lot of times, Bowdon's speed, the speed of Shepard, Wyatt, Beasley, they're just overwhelming to the defense. I mean, it's something that this kind of speed, I don't think the Paladins have seen this kind of speed since maybe South or Mount Vernon. I mean, so it's something that the defense has to get used to again. And if they're planning on going deep into the playoffs, which I hope they are, they got to get used to it because the teams are going to get progressively better. Right. And at the end of the day, you're going to have guys who are faster than this if you want to win it all. Which I honestly think this team has a good chance that they can win it all. With this group of seniors they have, really, they have a good chance.
Great senior class, led by quarterback and linebacker Ryan McCarthy, headed to play football at the Citadel next year. 2nd and 12, 1:38 remaining here. Red Devils need to find a way in the end zone. It's going to be a shotgun. It's going to be a handoff to Shepard. And Ryan McCarthy gets first contact, falls on the ground. Carson Allen jumps on it. Let's see if they say he was down. They're not. It's going to be Paladin football. And that should just about seal this one. 5th turnover of the game forced by this Paladin defense. Carson Holler, man on the spot, has the last 2. And man, that's why you drive 97 miles for a big win like that.
No kidding. I think that ankle's healthy, Ned. I think Carson Holler, I think he's pretty much 100%. And you see
in the replay, McCarthy spills the run. What Coach Winter talked about was going to be important all weekend. And then it looks like Brooks Binkley and one of the defensive linemen couldn't quite get a number, dragging him down, ripped the football out, and Holler pursuing to the football. The tackler was wrapped up. He kept pursuing, and a big-time turnover there.
Man, he's so excited. That one of the fastest 40-yard dashes I've ever seen. He ran right down to his sideline. That was awesome.
Keeper here for McCarthy, lowers his shoulder. Gain of about 2. Clock will continue to run, so only 1 timeout for the Red Devils. A first down certainly would seal it, and depending on how they manage the clock, both teams. So there's the restart, 25 seconds from a minute 12. Usually there's a coach down the sideline who's got that timer with him. Downs brings the play in. Under a minute.
This should be it.
So McCarthy with Barroza's in motion. McCarthy keeps it, dances, not looking to do a whole lot, but maybe run some clock and hold on to the football. And there's the final timeout called by Bowdon. So 43.9 remaining. So, you know, let's see if I can do some quick math here. I know you had math class earlier, so I don't want to make you do any. But
It was a long drive for you, Ned. We're on an even playing field here. Take your time. You're good.
So 44 seconds. You figure a play takes about 4 to 5 seconds, down to about 40 seconds.
Right.
Maybe 35 by the time they spot it. So, you know, it could be you may have to run a 4th down play, and it may have to be a punt, so you got to protect. So we'll see how this clock management works out. Again, Bowdon just used their last timeout. 2 teams 6-3, both ended up 3rd in their region. Region A for the Red Devils, Region B for the Paladins.
Yeah, and I know it's my favorite thing in the whole wide world, the passing. But that's the last thing I expect. And please, Coach, please don't pass the ball here. Please.
I don't think I've heard John Paul say that all year.
I hope I don't ever say that again. That was a very uncomfortable feeling. But yeah, just run the clock down. Yep. You don't need to score.
Right.
You don't need.
Certainly don't need.
Certainly don't need to score.
You need a first down. You really need to hold on to that football and bleed that clock. Bowdon out of timeouts. 3rd and 8 here. And Barroza comes in motion. McCarthy keeps it, and they blow it dead at 39 seconds left. Late flag comes in. Alan Yadav gets thrown to the ground. And that might do it. If that's a first down.
Wow.
That's who you do it. And you know what? You know what I love? Of all the guys you could have done it to on Pinecrest, do it to Alan Yadav. Do it to the guy that's going to keep his head, right? We've seen McCarthy a couple other times. Guys get upset. They retaliate. They get the 15. You see, Alan Yadav got thrown to the ground, looked to the ref, said, "Where's the flag?" Saw the flag, walked right back to his huddle with excitement.
Yeah.
That's those senior leadership plays that Coach Winter loves out of this group.
Alan Yadav, I think he's more of a quiet leader. He's not the guy who's going to go and get the pregame speech like a Ryan McCarthy or Carson Holland. But, again, he's there, and he's blocking. He's on the line, and he's defending on the line.
Right.
And, again, yeah, he just gets thrown down, and he's ready. He's their level-headed senior. You can trust him, man.
So it looks like the Paladins are going to walk out of Bowdon, Georgia with a big-time win. 20-14, they use a timeout just to settle everybody down, make sure nothing silly happens here. So again, they'll head to the playoffs 7-3, coming on a 4-game win streak, playing well, 2 shutouts the last 2 games, hold a Bowdon team to 14. This is a Bowdon team that's granted against some lesser competition has scored 40, 50, upwards of 57, 58 points. So to hold this team to 14, this offense to really only the 2 drives, you you did a couple, I guess, you got some red zone turnovers, but you forced turnovers in the middle of the field and didn't put too much pressure on the offense because of the way the defense played.
Right. I think it was a complete game. It was a complete game. I don't think the offense or the defense or special teams really stood out a whole lot, but they got the job done.
Right.
At the end of the day, 20-14
isn't
it? It's all you need.
Mm-hmm.
It's all you need. And I can't imagine I didn't exactly see who exactly it was who threw Allen down.
Right, but that's
can you imagine?
tough.
You threw the game away.
Yeah.
You just threw the game away. I mean, walking back over the sidelines and facing Coach Andrews.
Right.
And he's like,
right.
Come on, man. What's going on? At this point of the season.
Yeah, exactly.
What are you doing?
You got to keep your head about yourself. And we saw Yadav did keep his head about himself. McCarthy snaps, and, some people take a knee. McCarthy decided he was going to take a sit there. So
hey, he's got to save those knees for the long bus ride home, man. I mean, those bus seats aren't very
They're
far
a little
away.
Crammed.
A little crammed up, so he's got to. I'm sure he gets the seat to himself. I mean, you're talking about the seniors, man. He's got that privilege.
And that should do it. They blew the play clock to start with 23 seconds left. Coach Winter jogs across, shake hands with Coach Andrews, and the Paladins leave Bowdon, Georgia, leave almost the state of Alabama. I think we're only about 5 miles away.
I see a few Alabama fans out here in the stands.
The Paladins lead with a big 20-14 win. Michael Barrose's 2 rushing touchdowns, including a 49-yarder with 3 minutes left, ended up being the game winner. John Paul, what did you like to see out of this Paladins team heading into the playoffs to win a tight game like this?
I like to see the resilience.
Yep.
And the ability to play with the lead. So many teams, so many high school teams, they get in the lead and then they don't know how to keep it. They get in the first half and they're up 17-0, and at the end of the game, look at the score and it's 24-17. They lost it. This team is mature. They're resilient. They know how to play with the lead, and those are the 3 qualities you need psychologically, emotionally, in those intangibles that are going to get you far in the playoffs.
Paladin defense tonight forces 5 turnovers on their way to a 20-14 victory. Thank you for tuning in to Pinecrest Academy football presented by SUV TV. For John Paul Hoover, our entire crew, I'm Ned Case. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next Friday for some playoff football.